Moving to the US completely changed my life. As a kid coming to the US who did not even know what weed, marijuana, or even meth like drugs are, who saw his roommates getting kicked out of the apartment because of drugs, and actually getting in the tech industry, living in Bay Area, living in New York City, living in every dream destination I wanted to. It changed my life and made me who I am today, on the path of maybe becoming a millionaire, which I don't really care about, on the path of maybe becoming a fitness icon, whether swimming, whether working out. Every goal you can imagine, I wanted to accomplish and live a balanced life, and it happened only because of these 8 rules that I'm going to walk you through right now in this video. Starting with number 1, हम सोच के आते हैं कि यार we're going to buy that iPhone, we're going to buy that Tesla and all the tech gadgets that we cannot in India easily. And I realized that yet after buying that, I thought I would be really happy. Then I realized I'm actually not. And even while living in Bay Area, I realized people live in one bedroom apartment, single twin bed in a shared apartment with 4 or 5 people, can be more happy than someone in New York City in a luxury apartment living their life. Do you know why? Because even right now, me, like I living in a shared apartment, even after getting married, can I afford to live in a house? Maybe yeah. Can I afford a bigger apartment? Maybe yeah. But by putting myself in suffering and reminding myself my life goals, I'm able to be more productive. And ये जो लोग California में रह रहे हैं, building their startups, they're not thinking, they want to live in a luxury. They're thinking, how can they change the world? How can, they leave something behind, their legacy, and leave something that they're remembered for the rest of the generations. That's what they care about, to actually leave the biggest impact of their life. And to make that, I also, even after getting married, living in a shared apartment, I feel happy because first of all, I feel like I have more people around me who are ambitious. They remind me my goals. They're amazing people I get to live with. So the biggest lesson I learned was putting things you want in the right order. What you want to work on, where do you want to live, who you want to surround with, and this actually really matters. अगर अकेले ही रहना था तो मैं इंडिया में भी रह सकता था. If I do not surround myself with the right people, I cannot change the world. So that's why I think you cannot aim for the luxury if your goals are not set right. US being capitalistic country, if you fall down, it's so hard to rise. If you have a bad credit score, you can get loan, you can fix your debt, and you fall in that cycle. So that's why when you come to the US, it's important to follow the right financial steps. Imagine coming to the US with a credit card that gives you for free $100 to spend on anything, rent, groceries, etc. Because students who come with Forex card, problem is they're not able to avoid that hidden fees. If you get debit card in the US, you do not build credit history, credit score, which is important if you want to later get health insurance, apartment, Tesla, car, phone on EMI. All these things are connected. So that's why getting right credit cards such as Zolve is important, because it gives you credit limit up to $15,000. With Zolve, you can apply for the credit card at your home country with just Visa, I-20 and immigration documents and passport. Extremely easy. 5 minutes to fill the application. The moment you come to the US, you're able to use your credit card, because in the US, even for Uber, you cannot do with cash. These things are important. And most importantly, you start building your credit history from day one. And here's the most exciting part. If you use my link in the description below, you get $100 welcome bonus immediately when you spend $1,000 in your first month, which is very easy on groceries, settling up, moving in the US, getting your stuff. So go check out right now and get started. And with that, number 2, which is connected to this, is context changes everything. Because let's say you are a data scientist, you're working for an NGO which gives you uncapped H1B visa as well. Let's say you work at Georgia Tech, Georgia State, आपको H1B मिल गया, you're working as a data scientist, you're paid 10x less than someone at Bay Area. Or let's say you are even a videographer or photographer doing marriage or wedding photography, you will be paid 5 to 10x less than a Hollywood photographer for models. Why? Because context changes everything. So you have to fill in the blank. Where do you want to work at? Who do you want to work with? What do you want to work on? And your zip code and your dream life with all of these questions answered. If you don't answer these questions right now, you won't reach that goal fast. Number 3, never be complacent. In my 8 years in the US, I have worked with research professors, bosses, managers who have criticized me so much and I used to have a really bad day. यार I gave my 100% और प्रोफेसर कह रहा है कि यहाँ पे भी गलती है. They never get my papers published. I still couldn't get my paper published. By the way, it was a failure. I was criticized so much that I used to have bad, not days, but weeks. But now I realize when I got that promotion at my previous company, I realized that it happened only because of those criticism. I want to give you a very strong example of a football coach, Alex Ferguson. You may have heard. He has trained Cristiano Ronaldo as well and also Manchester United in UK. He used to even criticize their teammates when they did a goal, a successful goal. Yeah, you didn't pass correctly. And that criticism helped his teams and teammates reach where they are. These criticism हमें बहुत बुरा लगता है, but I would rather live in a team and maybe a boss where I get more criticism till perfection rather than where they say you're the best person here, you're just amazing. So you have to choose your team very carefully and choose where you can actually accept criticism and when you ask you actually get it. कई बार यार teams to keep your morale high, they will be like यार सब कुछ अच्छा है, they won't criticize you, but you have to force your manager, you have to force everyone. I want you sir to criticize me so that I can be a better person. Any mistake you find, you have to ask wherever possible. It can be called constructive criticism or constructive feedback, wherever however you want to call it, but make sure you get that so you are actually making that progress. जब आप young होते हो, because you can tackle failure, this is the best time to accept as much criticism as possible. People who grow old, who have never faced criticism, you will be surprised they feel like giving up their life. Now this rule is connected to my favorite Silicon Valley principle, which is not just related to business, by the way, it's related to life as well, called fail fast. I in my life wanted to become machine learning engineer after my masters. I did undergrad in 3 years, masters in my 4th year. So during my masters, I was like, yeah, I was traveling a lot. I traveled to Canada. You can see all the videos. And during that time, I was like, yeah, masters mein AI ki bahut hype zyada hai. So I was like, should I just reject my offer as Android developer and try something else like machine learning offers? Can I be one? And to figure that out, I actually went to those teams in Bay Area, shadowed them, saw their environment. In 1 week when I saw my friend, he lives in Canada, if you saw, uske saath reh ke saw the machine learning projects and no fire ignite in me. So I was like, this is not for me. I'm already happy doing Android development. I can go in that ladder, and I figured out I failed fast in my subject. Similar in business environment, it could be, I remember one of my Harvard Business School MBA friend, his name is Abhishek. He wanted to create a business in hospitality. He went to Bay Area instead of talking to 10 people in hospitality, यार मैं आपके साथ business करना चाहता हूँ. He literally went to the conference where all the clients were, talked to them and figured out कि clients नहीं मिल रहे हैं, failed fast and then came back. I think he got clients as well, but I'm saying if he wasn't, he would have failed fast. So just increase your speed of whatever you want to achieve and figure out as soon as possible whether it will work or not and automate it. Amazon is the best example. Amazon had a search engine as well. Amazon created their own shoes as well, which you don't remember because people don't remember where they start, but they remember where it ended. Steve Jobs, you don't remember where he started. You remember where it ended. Amazon, you don't remember where it started. Amazon tried so many failed projects. You don't remember them. So just automate and fail as soon as possible with the projects you are unsure about. Next, close to my heart is my favorite financial lesson. It's about a rich mentality says you lease before you buy and rent before you lease. इसके लिए simple principle example could be with my Tesla Model 3. Even with the house, I bought Tesla Model 3, let's say $45,000. On interest of let's say 5%, monthly payment will be for 5 years $700, right? And insurance milake it will be $900, $200 per month insurance, $900 per month. But if I had leased Tesla Model 3, the cost is $300, insurance milake $500 per month. But if I would have rented Tesla Model 3, for only the times I want in a month, or even for a whole month, and like not renting it for the whole year. Kabhi you go to India, kabhi you travel, you don't rent it for that time. It would have costed you $300 including insurance in a month. So this is a clear-cut principle. If you don't know where you're living, you will be living for a long time. Rent first, then lease, and then buy, because our career in the US is transient. You don't know how long you're going to live. So control your monthly expenses as much as possible. If my monthly expenses with Tesla Model 3, if I did not buy it, were 300, or even with leasing 600, and the remaining money that I saved per month, I could have invested and got amazing returns in my stock portfolio, index funds, mutual funds, whatever you buy. No advice here, but whatever you buy could have given better results. Of course, nothing is predictable, but that's my personal opinion. Next, patience during hard times. A popular rule is also there, a popular saying: hard times create strong men. Strong men creates good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men creates tough times. So I'm saying every one of you watching coming to the US like me, I remember it was so tough to, pass one of the crazy American government class for me. I got a B grade in it. It was tough for me to, code in the beginning of my time in machine learning, AI. I took it for the hype. I hated it. Those tough times, those, tendency ki main fail ho jaunga, my masters will be over. Those tough times actually made me stronger indeed. Made me stronger ki yaar, if I cross that failure, I can cross any failure in life. So be patient at those times. A popular saying from a book that I read by, Walter Isaacson, Steve Jobs documentary, you can only connect the dots backwards. So there will be times you'll be working and you will not see any result. You have to be patient. Ek din wo spike aayegi, you'll be like, finally did it, and now I can look back, oh, so this is why it happened. But the real reason it happened is always patience, keep trying, resilience, and failing fast as soon as possible. These principles at the end of the day come down to just patience, and वो हम में बहुत कम लोगों में होती है. We have tendency that we want to switch from one project to another, machine learning to Android development, iOS to web, but actual success is sometimes getting that one skill which you can say you're the best in the world at, and that is what you need. Even with AI is so good with translating, right? But still, Lex Friedman tweets that he wants translated Russian, English, Hindi. So when AI becomes so good and cheap, you want either the best human in the world or just any cheap AI. So be that best human in the world you can be. With this note, I want to end with my favorite close to heart lesson. That is, when I started making my first income at the age of 18, which could have been really hard in India, I figured out I don't need to ask my parents where to spend this money. Agar mujhe ice cream extra leni hai, I can. So that was the biggest feeling in the world. I was like, okay, I'm 18, I got a salary, I can now pay my own rent, and I have $100 remaining. Iska kya karu? I chose to not spend even on food, but actually save up on next semester's tuition fee. And when this cycle kept on passing to next semester, I was at a stage ki, okay, I'm in my last year, last 2 semesters are figured out, I can travel. And I learned so much more by that. So if I was just dependent on my parents' income, I was so embarrassed ki yaar, I need tickets for Canada trip, California trip. So just start standing on your feet as soon as possible. Make your decision for yourself. Dive in the ocean to swim and see how it feels like, and you will learn the biggest financial lessons in your life, which you cannot learn through books, which you cannot learn through parents, which you cannot learn from anyone. It can only be learned when you make your own money and spend it by yourself. So start doing that as soon as possible. Agar aap India mein bhi dekh rahe ho, right? Figure out ways to just stand on your own feet. Have a dream. Like a lot of people like me, I've seen in the US, they wanted to get a MacBook. Wahan se dream came to do part-time job. That dream to part-time job to actually buying that MacBook help them achieve so many things. So just have that one luxury thing which is going to make you productive. It can be MacBook, it can be iPhone, maybe you want to create videos. See whatever you can and reach that. And do not forget to check out Zolve, which is going to help you in the US to build credit history and have a great financial journey. Thank you so much for watching.